A company is a lot like a person. It can look perfectly fine on the outside, but you never really know if it's healthy until you check its vital signs. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and learn how to give any company a full health check. And trust me, it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. So take a look at this company. We'll call it ABC Limited. From the outside, everything looks great, right? Nice building, seems like business is humming along. But is that the whole story? What's really going on behind those walls? Is this a picture of health, or is it just barely hanging on? To find that out, we can't just look at the surface. Nope, we have to go deeper. We need to give this company a proper medical exam. And the tools we're going to use for that are its financial statements. All right, so when you go to the doctor, the first thing they do is a general physical, right? It's the exact same for a company. And that physical means looking at 3 core reports that give us a really good, broad overview of its health. First up, the income statement. This one answers the most basic question of all. Is the company actually making any money? It's pretty straightforward. You take all the money that came in, that's revenue, and you subtract all the money that went out, those are the expenses. What's left over is either a profit or a loss. Simple as that. Next on our list is the balance sheet. Now, if the income statement is like a video of the company's performance over a few months, the balance sheet is a single photograph. It's a snapshot in time. On one side, it lists everything the company owns, its assets. On the other, everything it owes, its liabilities. And the key thing, the two sides always have to balance out. And to finish our general exam, there's the cash flow statement. Now, listen up, because this one is absolutely crucial. See, profit isn't the same as cash. A company can look profitable on paper, but have zero money in the bank. This statement is the reality check. It follows the actual hard cash as it moves in and out of the business. It's the company's lifeblood. Okay, general, physical, done. We've got the basics. But now it's time to bring in the specialists. This is where we go deeper with something called financial ratios. Think of these as the advanced diagnostic tests, the blood work, the MRIs, that are going to tell us what's really going on under the hood. Because let's be real, staring at pages and pages of numbers can make your eyes glaze over. It's just a lot. Ratios are what makes sense of it all. They're the magic key that turns that jumble of data into something we can actually understand and use. So let's run our first specialist test, and it's a big one. Can this company actually afford to pay its debts, or is it drowning in them? I mean, this is a fundamental question of survival. To figure that out, we use what's called the interest coverage ratio. The best way to think about it is as a financial stress test. It tells us how much of a cushion the company has to pay the interest on its loans. Can it cover those payments once, twice, 10 times over? That's what we need to know. And the formula? It's actually really simple. It's just EBITDA divided by the interest expense. And EBITDA, that just stands for earnings before interest and taxes. We use that number because it shows us how much money the company is making from its main business, before all the financial obligations get taken out. So you run the numbers. What does the answer actually mean? Well, if you get a high number, say 5 or more, that's fantastic. It means the company has plenty of breathing room to pay its debts, a very healthy sign. But if that number dips below, say, 1.5, whoa, that's a huge red flag. It means the company is cutting it way too close and could be in serious trouble. All right, next test. This one's all about the company's foundation. Is it built on a solid base of its own money, or is it just a house of cards that's being propped up by a mountain of debt? For this, we use the debt ratio, and it does exactly what its name suggests. It tells you what percentage of the company's stuff, all its assets, the buildings, the inventory, everything, was paid for with borrowed money. And again, the math is not scary. You just take the company's total liabilities, that's everything it owes, and divide that by its total assets, everything it owns. This simple division answers a really fundamental question. Because here's what that number really tells you. Who has the biggest claim on the company? If that ratio is over 1, it means the company owes more than it owns. The lenders basically have a bigger stake than the actual owners. That's a risky place to be. But if it's less than 1, well, that's much better. It means the company is funded more by its own resources, which is almost always a safer, stronger position. So those ratios are awesome. They give us a really clear snapshot. But a company's health isn't static, right? It changes. To see how the patient is doing over time, we need to chart its progress. And for that, we use something called the fund flow statement. Now, this statement zooms in on something called working capital. Don't let the term intimidate you. It's basically the money a company has on hand to run its day-to-day operations, paying salaries, buying supplies, that kind of thing. This isn't about tracking every single dollar like the cash flow statement. It's more about seeing the big picture change in the company's financial flexibility between two different dates.
It basically shows us two sides of the coin. On one side, you have sources of funds, where the money came in from. Hopefully, it's from strong business operations, but maybe they had to issue new stock or sell off equipment. On the other side, you have applications, where all that money went. Did they pay down loans, buy new machinery, pay dividends? A healthy company is one that generates funds from its operations, not from selling off the furniture to stay afloat.
All right, we've done the general physical, we've run the specialist tests, we've even charted the progress over time. We've gathered all the data. So now it's time for the final consultation. It's time to put all the pieces together.
Because that's really what this is all about. These documents, they aren't just boring collections of numbers and ratios. Not at all. They are chapters in a story of success or struggle, of smart decisions or risky bets, of growth or decline. And by understanding these core tools, the three key statements and the ratios that bring them to life, you now have the skills to read any company's financial story. You can look right past the surface and perform your own health check. So the only question left is, what story will you uncover?